More than a decade has passed since Jon Kate Plus 8 captivated the nation with its unfiltered look into the lives of a Pennsylvania couple raising twins and sextuplets under the intense glare of reality television. What began as a heartwarming, chaotic chronicle of everyday family life soon exploded into a cultural juggernaut, and eventually, a cautionary tale of fame, family breakdown, and fractured bonds. Now in 2025, the once-sensational Gosselin household has splintered into quieter, more separate lives defined by maturity, reflection, and an evolving legacy. The twins Mady and Cara are now 24, while the sextuplets Alexis, Hannah, Aaden, Colin, Leah, and Joel just turned 21. To mark the milestone, Kate Gosselin made a rare return to Instagram on May 10, 2025, her first post in over a year. The occasion: celebrating the 21st birthday of her sextuplets. In a carousel of photos, Kate offered fans a glimpse into the festivities, which took place at a restaurant, where 4 of her children, Alexis, Aaden, Leah, and Joel, were seen smiling beside her, raising cocktails to mark their entry into adulthood. The snapshots captured a softer, more serene version of the family dynamic that once played out on television screens across the country. Noticeably absent from the gathering were the other 2 sextuplets, Hannah and Colin, as well as Kate's older daughters, Mady and Cara. The divide was familiar to longtime followers of the family's public story. Kate, who relocated from Pennsylvania to North Carolina with 4 of the sextuplets after her divorce from Jon, has remained estranged from Colin, a rupture that has defined much of his young adult life. Despite the absence, Kate's caption included all 6 names. And just like that, they turned 21. "Happy birthday to my 6," she wrote. Fans were quick to flood the comments with nostalgic reflections and disbelief over how quickly time had passed. Jon Gosselin also marked the day, but separately. He took to Instagram stories to celebrate with daughter Hannah, posting a photo from Fig and Barrel Pub in York, Pennsylvania. Holding what appeared to be an espresso martini, Jon tagged Hannah and his fiancée, Stephanie Lebo, with a simple birthday message. Notably missing from his tribute was Colin, despite the milestone. While Colin wasn't publicly part of Jon's celebration, he's been focused on new goals and a fresh chapter. As the Gosselin children step into adulthood, they bring with them not only memories of a televised childhood, but the enduring weight of a divided family. Here's where all 8 stand in 2025, adults now, each carving their own path in the shadow of a once famous name. The eldest of the Gosselin children, Cara, has always exuded calm discipline, a trait that now defines her life as a student at Fordham University. Majoring in interdisciplinary mathematics and economics, she balances a demanding academic path with the grueling physical rigor of collegiate rowing. Her participation on the university's crew team is more than extracurricular. It speaks to a resilient work ethic and a quiet inner strength honed over years of growing up in the public eye. Cara has also drawn a distinct boundary between her public past and private present. In her athlete profile, she thanked her mother and siblings, conspicuously omitting her father, Jon Gosselin. That omission was more than symbolic. Jon later acknowledged on The Doctor show that he hasn't spoken to either Cara or her twin sister, Mady, in more than 8 years, despite reaching out annually via text. Still, Cara remains steadfastly private, focused on her studies, her sport, and a future that no longer includes her father. A quiet but unambiguous decision. In contrast to her twin sister's reserved nature, Mady has embraced her voice and visibility. A student at Syracuse University, Mady has cultivated a thoughtful online presence. Previously, she posted a powerful message reflecting on her biracial identity, sharing her experience as a Korean American navigating a world where she rarely saw herself represented. "I felt shame about my Korean roots," she wrote, "but now I celebrate being Korean American with pride." Her candid post struck a chord, resonating far beyond her circle of followers. Though she too has chosen estrangement from Jon, her forward-facing identity reflects a willingness to lead, to speak out, and to write her own narrative, unshaped by past grievances. Alexis, once known for her big smile and boundless energy, now leads a much more private life. She has remained with Kate since the family's split, and was one of the 4 sextuplets present for the birthday celebration. Publicly, Alexis has maintained a low profile, keeping her personal pursuits and goals away from social media and media outlets. Jon once shared a throwback birthday post celebrating his children, including Alexis, but it's unclear whether they maintain any communication. Like many of her siblings, Alexis is now positioned to shape her future on her own terms, free from the spotlight that once defined her. Among the sextuplets, Hannah has perhaps most fully embraced the spotlight, on her own terms. Previously at 18, she marked her birthday with a splashy party in Miami, a Rolls-Royce ride, and the launch of her skincare brand Gosselin Girl. It was more than a celebration, it was a declaration of independence. "I want to succeed because of me," she said, her entrepreneurial drive echoing the confidence she's carried for years. Hannah has lived with Jon since the custody split and remains estranged from Kate, though she's acknowledged that they still text and speak occasionally. Despite the deep rift that split the family in half, Hannah is charting a path that embraces both ambition and reconciliation, albeit on her terms. She's a businesswoman now, and one who knows the value of branding, identity, and self-determination. Once dubbed the Professor for his glasses and quiet curiosity, Aaden has matured into a private young man with an unpublicized life. He continues to live with Kate in North Carolina, and like his siblings, recently gained access to a portion of the earnings set aside from the family's time on television. The payments, structured to be disbursed in stages through adulthood, provide a foundation, one that gives Aaden the freedom to pursue whatever path he chooses. His public absence suggests a preference for privacy over performance. Though he has not spoken out publicly, the steady, thoughtful boy America once saw on screen likely remains. Now, with the resources to back his dreams, Aaden has the tools to shape a life far removed from the cameras of his past. Joel, long considered the most reserved of the Gosselin children, has embraced a similarly private adulthood. Living with Kate in North Carolina, Joel benefits from a lifestyle that prioritizes privacy and normalcy. Kate, having returned to her nursing roots, has built a quieter life in their lakefront home, far removed from the chaos of TV crews and tabloid headlines. Joel has made no public announcements or appearances, and little is known about his pursuits. But for a young man who never seemed to enjoy the spotlight, this quiet existence appears well suited. The next chapter of his life will likely unfold far from cameras, and firmly on his own terms. Affectionately remembered as Princess Leah, she too has embraced a more tranquil path into adulthood. Now living with her mother in North Carolina, Leah has eschewed public platforms and business ventures for a more grounded existence. The girl once dressed in tiaras and tutus now values privacy over performance, and her calm, understated presence seems to echo Kate's shift in priorities. As with her siblings, Leah will receive her portion of the family's TV earnings over time, giving her the opportunity to explore her future without pressure. Her life may no longer be televised, but it is hers to shape, far from the chaos that once defined it. Colin's journey has been the most complex and painful. Once institutionalized by Kate, who cited behavioral issues, Colin was later removed from the facility by Jon after gaining custody. His teenage years were marked by trauma, alienation, and efforts to rebuild a sense of self. In 2020, Colin made headlines after alleging abuse by Jon, claims later dismissed by Child Services. Jon denied the accusations, attributing them to emotional strain. Despite the rocky past, Colin is focused on the future. He briefly considered a military career, but his past institutionalization reportedly led to a discharge. Now he's attending Penn State University and has launched a small business, Gosselin Pressure Washing LLC. In a March 2025 post, he proudly announced the business formation. "Today we officially filed as an LLC," Colin wrote in a post. Gosselin Pressure Washing LLC is ready to tackle that job you've been needing to get done. With the spring season approaching fast, our goal is to make your home shine. With our pressure washing/soft wash services, we prioritize beautifying your home so that all you have to do is admire the shine after we are done. He ended the post with a clever sign-off. Let us take the pressure off your shoulders. While Colin remains estranged from most of his siblings and mother, he shares a strong bond with Hannah and has expressed hope for future reconciliation. I love my siblings very, very much. I think if we knew each other today, we'd be very good friends, he said in a past interview. Colin's story is one of resilience and of the long, painful climb toward healing. As the Gosselin children move through their 20s, they carry with them the legacy of an extraordinary and extraordinarily public childhood. Some have chosen to speak out. Others have opted for silence. But each is navigating adulthood on their own terms, forging identities outside of the narrative once crafted for them. Their story is no longer about Jon and Kate. It's about 8 individuals, survivors of circumstance, seekers of autonomy, who are finally telling stories of their own.